Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I just wanted to talk about this story on World Star, and we'll just listen to some of it.
Starr County mom is getting a lot of national attention.
Yeah, she's suing after a sperm bank sent her vials from a black donor instead of the white donor she had picked out.
According to court papers, the family is facing difficulties there in Uniontown, where 98% of residents are white. Here's what Jennifer Cramblett says happened. She says she placed a sperm order for a white donor with blonde hair and blue eyes and got pregnant. But when she called the Midwest Sperm Bank to order more samples so that her partner could try and get pregnant with a sibling for her daughter, the sperm bank told her that a mistake was made and she had received a sample from a black man instead. Now she's filed a lawsuit for more than $50,000. Money her lawyer says, or tells NBC they will use to move out of Uniontown. Jennifer talked to CNN exclusively about this incident.
Honestly, we haven't had much of any kind of racial issues in our town. I'm not saying that Uniontown is a racist town by any means. I'm saying that I want my child to be raised around people that maybe look like her. And unfortunately, we're not going to get all of those assets there in Uniontown, Ohio.
Okay, I live in Ohio, all right, and I don't know anything about Uniontown. But here's what I do know. Here's what I do know. There are a lot of places here in Ohio, like there is all over the world, that do not have a lot of mixed races there. I have gone to some places and they thought I was getting ready to rob them. It was like, like a deer with the light, headlights. It was bad. And some places I've gone to, and they thought I was Michael Jordan, like literally. They were like, oh my God, And I was like, look, I'm not a celebrity, but they were just so happy to see a black face because there's no black faces where they're at. And of course, you get you get all kind of reactions, some good, some bad, so on and so forth. But this woman, see, the whole sperm bank thing is, I'm just going to say it, God is against all that. I'm telling you that right now. There's going to be some people who's going to really come at me, and that's fine. But for one, I think this young lady is a homosexual. So I think when she said her partner, I think she is either married or has a girlfriend. And so there's a whole biblical thing that we can go into, but of course nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about, homosexuality because we think it's just okay to do it because, our president says it's okay to do it. But forget what God says. Who's God? We don't care what he says. God says in this abomination, he'll throw you in a lake of fire when you die, but who cares? Don't worry about it. So nonetheless, so, they go to sperm bank and this lady wanted she wanted a white child basically, and she ended up getting a a mixed child because the man was black, and now they're moving out of that neighborhood. Listen, the city where I live in right now is racist. They got Ku Klux Klan deep on the police force, like deep. There's some like I was looking for a new apartment and tried to go in and was looking for a new apartment, and the lady asked me what was my nationality. When I told her I was black, she was like, there's some people who won't like you living here. I can't. That's against the law to do that. But I'm going to tell you something. It would be better if I just didn't move there because I would get harassment from people. It's just like, ugh. I don't want to be harassed where I live. I just want to be chilled. So I live in a mixed neighborhood. When I say mixed, I mean my next door neighbor is Latino. My other neighbor is he has a Latino wife and a little girl. The other one, they're Africans. So, and then the other set that they're Africans, and then there's some white people mixed in there somewhere. So we live in a diverse neighborhood. But of course, you know who doesn't live among us? The Asians, the Indians don't live here, and the Arabs don't live here. You know why? Because they live amongst the white people. You know what I'm saying? They work here. They have their corner stores here, but they don't live among us. Okay, I'm not even gonna go there. But nonetheless, so I kind of understand what this woman is talking about. She's saying she's not gonna get, her child is not going to be around people that recognize her and that can, pretty much assimilate with, her issues of just being a mixed child or, having a black father that she won't know, so on and so forth. And that's very true. And some people will say, hey, I think you should have stayed there and that child would have grew up and got to know, a different race, although she would have been pretty much alone. And other people are like, yeah, go ahead and leave. Now, what I think happened is I think that she is afraid. Now, she's suing for $50,000 and they're going to try to take this $50,000 and move. But I think this woman's afraid. I think she's very afraid. I think she recognizes what's in Uniontown, and she doesn't want to get harassed. She doesn't want to get called any more names than what she's already going through because she is a homosexual. And trust me, not everybody is accepting of that. So she could be going through it for that. She could get harassed just because she went to a sperm bank. Because you got Bible thumpers here in this the Bible Belt, baby. They get it on. So you got Bible thumpers here deep, and they're constantly telling people that where they're going after they die. So you got that here, and she probably has a multitude of issues just by living where she's at. When you're living in a predominantly anything neighborhood, and then you're trying to bring up a child that is not of that neighborhood. I don't care if it's an all black neighborhood, you're bringing up a white person. Although we are more acceptable. Uh, you know, I grew up in a black neighborhood. We had one white family, and I mean thousands of us lived in the projects. One, one white family. This dude and his wife, and they were the coolest people on the face of the earth. They was crazy as hell, but they was cool, and they never got into it with none of us. And when I tell you we was in the hood, it's in Braddock, Pennsylvania. Look it up. We lived in a place called the Bottom. And you're not gonna listen, everybody has a hood. But everybody has a hood in their city where it's just like, okay, I don't want to raise my kids here. I lived in that hood. And these white people lived with us in the projects, getting it every day, welfare, roaches, rats, the business, right along with us. And we loved them people. They was cool with us. So, so as far as I'm concerned, I think she should move out, but I just thought it was an interesting story and wanted to get some feedback from you guys. I mean, a little girl is already here. She's beautiful too, but she's mixed. So you guys tell me, should she have moved or should she have stayed and maybe, added some culture to, or a different culture to Uniontown, Ohio? It's your boy Tone 202. Don't forget to check out my album Just Right There.